Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim 9. I hope you all are doing great. Let me tell you this. Sometimes some minutes of blabbing, especially to these people, will put you in so much trouble. It has happened to so many of them. If you look at so many of them that lost their job, it was because they blabbed for a few seconds and people knew that they are already deceased. I love it when the universe wants to open up something, they open it in a way that everybody will get to see it. So there is this brother on TikTok who aired his opinion about something. And this person decided to throw in him by telling him to drop his address so he can pull up, calling him some rate this says kind of talk and all that. Tell him to drop his location so he can pull up on him. So the brother said, drop your own location. I will pull up on you. As a moron he is, he decided to drop his own location. And guess what? The brother is a government baby because he works with the government. I think he's in the military, right? Guess what? Immediately, he sent the location to FBI and they are going to pull up on that young man. I don't know what's going to happen to him, but I love to say things like this. People will start learning and learning in a different way. I think a lot of people should start doing this to them because some of them will have to learn whether hard or soft or any type. Let's get into this video.
In light of the video that I made about Charlie Kirk where I said fuck him, but I don't condone what happened to him, it is what it is. However, I keep getting a lot of racist DMs as well as death threats. And I want to tell y'all about one of them specifically. The guy said, oh, drop me your location. I'm going to drop you mine. I'm in Fort Myers, Florida, da-da-da, right? And I was just like, oh, word, pussy, drop your location. Drop it. And he dropped his location. And guess what I did? I reported him to the FBI. The white ones. Y'all do know it's a crime to threaten to kill a federal employee, right? Just making sure y'all understand that. So while you're in my DMs saying how much you hope I get unalived, while you're talking about my kids, while you're talking about my fiance, I'm turning you in. NCIS has your profile. I filed an IC3 report, Internet Crimes Complaint. The FBI has your page. The FBI has your address. Look forward to a visit, okay? Now watch this. I'm not gonna live scared of you all. I'm not gonna walk scared of you all. But I also understand that while I may not take it seriously, I'm still in the United States Navy. I still have a family. You feel me? And all of that extra stuff is not necessary. I welcome uncomfortable conversation. But do not tell me that someone had a difference of opinion that literally spewed hateful rhetoric almost their entire life and tell me I need to feel bad about it. Did I mock his death? No. Did I condone his death? No. Did I celebrate his death? No. But that's how you all interpreted it. And these are the messages that I'm receiving. So understand, when you want to send that nasty stuff to my inbox, I'm turning you in. To the same law enforcement y'all prop up, right? And let's see if you keep that same energy. Good day, racist goofies.
Dear white men, what are we doing? Like, honestly, I was wearing this t-shirt in a coffee shop today and everybody's coming up to me. Oh my gosh, I love your t-shirt. Oh, thank you so much. Like, they are coming up to me like I cured cancer. Literally, all I'm doing is wearing a stupid t-shirt. Like, is that how low the bar has gotten? That a white man who just says, I'm not going to be a jerk and I'm actually going to be pro-racial justice, like, or at least wear a t-shirt about being pro-racial justice, and that's going to garner all of this praise and effusive, like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, dude, what are we doing? Like, we have to figure this out. We literally can't even humble ourselves enough to learn from our siblings of color, to learn from the women and femmes in our life who are telling us, like, hey, listen to me for 2 seconds. That's all they're asking, and we're not even doing that. And so when somebody does a t-shirt, they all of a sudden are a hero. Like, what are we doing? Honestly, I'm just disgusted with us. I mean, I know that we've been socialized, right, to fake it till we make it, to pretend like we know all the things, to be the expert in the room, to take over situations, and to show everyone else what to do. Well, how's that working for us? Because for many of us, we actually don't know what we're doing, and there is this insecurity that develops, which then becomes anger, which then gets projected onto female bodies and to bodies of culture, which then just begins a horrible cycle of shame, which begets violence, which begets all kinds of horrible things. So for my white men, how are you going to confront those insecurities within yourself so that you can actually heal those parts of yourself that need to be healed, and so that you don't go around hurting everyone else? How are you going to humble yourself enough to listen to the experience of others, to admit that you don't know, and to remember that it's really hard to learn and look good at the same time? So you may not look good all the time, but you know that it still matters enough that you don't mind looking bad every once in a while. How are you going to find others to practice this anti-racism work with, so that you don't try to do your rugged individualistic bootstrapping efforts, but you actually find other people who can do it with you, that can carry you in the work when you can't carry yourself, and people that you can cry with, people that you can laugh with, people that can hold the discomfort so that you stop dumping all of that discomfort onto bodies of culture and the global majority folks who are in the room, because they're sick of holding it for us. And it's not their job to hold it for us. So I'm going to be heading to an open house tonight with a bunch of other white men for racial justice. And we're also launching a course here in a couple weeks. It's a foundations course. There's 10-week course. And it's going to be folks who are saying enough is enough. This is not working for me anymore. My partner is telling me that they're sick of the toxic masculinity. My coworkers are telling me that they don't appreciate the depression and the isolation. My kids are telling me that my anger is too much, and I need to get healed and I need to get well. Because friends, this world needs white men to be in a healthy place. Because if you look around the world, there's a lot of violence. If you look in our country, there's a lot of horrible, horrible, awful things that are happening at the hands of white men because we haven't worked on our stuff. So white men, get your stuff together, find your people, and go do the work. The world needs.
Hey, white people. No, not the racist YT males and females, but just regular, normal white people. Why do you let the racist YTs, bring down your race? Racism is expensive. Why don't you tell them that? Why don't you tell them to stop? I do believe there's more of you all than it is of those racist YTs. So why don't you do something? Do you secretly enjoy the mistreatment of the black and brown peoples of the world? Because if not, put an end to this. It's time. It's been time. And if not, if you don't stop it, that's all I need to know about all of the white people and the YTs. That will show me, that will tell me that you're all the same. And if that's the message you want to send, so be it. That's all I have on that.
If you are still racist in 2025, you are the lamest person on the planet. It means that you have read no books, you have watched no documentaries, you have no friends who have an outside perspective different from yours. All you have done is recycled the same old tired narratives from your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents. You have done no self-reflection. You have not once considered your position in life in relation to others. I can guarantee you've never stepped foot in a library. I can guarantee you when you go on vacation, you probably still eat chicken nuggets with no sauce because you have no sauce. Your brain functions at the lowest level, and so does your heart, and I hope you have a terrible day.
I'm a former Trump-supporting white Christian nationalist. Now, to be fair, I've never voted in an election because I cannot vote. Imagine that. As a convicted felon, I've never been able to vote. And I think that in and of itself highlights how much poor white Americans vote against their best interests, because right now there is only one party who doesn't want convicted felons to vote, yet they put a convicted felon in the White House.
Now, I've been doing the work of anti-racism for the last 4 years. I travel the country, I speak, I meet with a lot of different people, and I've been speaking out against Trump for the last 4+ years. And I live in a community right now, still to this day, that is predominantly white, that is predominantly Christian, borderline Christian nationalist, and predominantly MAGA. And I have these difficult conversations every day, but one thing that I've been consistently being told by people on the left and the right is that it's just a difference of opinion, and I need to be okay with people who do not agree with me. Fuck no. We are way past difference of opinion. We are way past difference of opinion. Difference of opinion is not raiding a United States apartment complex and putting little black kids in zip ties while at gunpoint. If it were only a difference of opinion, we wouldn't have whites only coming back, an entire town to where only white people could live in. Last night, we had the President of the United States of America posting himself as the Grim Reaper, as if we don't already know that everything about him is death and destruction. From the cutting of Medicare to the firing of federal employees, all Donald Trump does is cut, take away, give to his rich buddies. A difference of opinion does not turn a military meeting with generals into a political rally or an attempted one where you're giving generals an ultimatum. Basically become a Trump yes man, loyalist, or lose your position. January 6th was not a difference of opinion. Telling a United States Congresswoman to go back to her shithole country is not a difference of opinion. Pulling out a full-page ad calling for the death penalty of 5 innocent teenage boys, black teenage boys, is not a difference of opinion. And then doubling down even after they are exonerated is not a difference of opinion. Celebrating the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor while martyring Charlie Kirk is not a difference of opinion. Signing executive orders which violate the United States Constitution is not a difference of opinion. Putting Trump 2028 hats on your desk in the Oval Office amidst government shutdown is not a difference of opinion. And if you justify this by saying he's just trolling the Democrats, what a fine time to pick to troll Democrats rather than lead this nation. To say immigrants are poisoning the blood of this country is not a difference of opinion. Calling immigrants the vermin of this country is not a difference of opinion. Calling us leftist lunatics is not a difference of opinion. Sending troops into United States cities or left-leaning cities because they do not agree with you is not a difference of opinion. And I've seen far too many people on the left capitulate to the people on the right because they're afraid of confrontation. They'd rather take the easier, softer way. Well, silence is violence, and to be silent is to be complicit. Because this is not a difference of opinion. This is an attack on human rights and civil liberties in the United States Constitution.
These are some things that white people say about Asian people in private. If you're a person who falls into this demographic, you might have heard these things before, but if you're a white person, stop fucking saying these things. Number 1, the Chinese food boycott by white people during the COVID pandemic. Yeah, I know of many white people who will still not eat Chinese food ever since the pandemic because they are convinced that somehow eating Chinese food is supporting China, or that they're going to somehow contract the virus through the food because of the connections that they have. Number 2, saying that Asian people smell bad. This is a very pervasive myth among white conservative people, specifically referring to South Asian people. Number 3, not knowing the difference between the different languages in Asia and just referring to anyone who looks remotely Asian as Chinese. Number 4, refusing to visit any country in Asia, whether it's Japan, Thailand, etc., because it is either dirty or because they don't want to support the enemy. Number 5, assuming that any Asian person who has had a successful career cheated because of the way Asian people are raised to be very intelligent, definitely rooted in race. I'll be making more of these videos in the series, so comment if you have any other ones that you think I've.
When someone says all white people are racist, they're not saying all white people are bad. They're saying all white people are subject to the sociological and psychological conditioning of society where racism is a fundamental systemic issue. They're saying all white people suffer from the sociological phenomenon of living in a world, in a country where racism, systemic racism is a
This is all I got from this video. And a very big shout out to that black brother. Let him pull over because he thought he can throw in everybody, you know? I love this kind of threat. Yeah, let him pull over. I love the fact that he dropped his address because he thought brother was gonna come, not knowing he is a federal government's property. So now the FBI will show up at his doorstep and then deal with him I love to say this. I really do wish life is this easy for every other person. Why people think the world evolves around them, like it's all about them. See, I will never stop saying this. If you are still a racist, if you are a racist in 2025, trust me, you are a very long thing. Let me tell you this. They said that man had, because he had a different opinion. So the same opinion he had, I cannot have the same opinion, because that opinion is meant for people, different people, and not for the other people. You lie. We will all have the same opinion. Great people. I saw a video, really, this administration is just the worst administration. I have never seen people that do not even want to be held accountable for the things they are doing. The fact that the blame is being, they are always looking for whom to blame. I have never ever seen something like this. I understand politics, I know politics, but I mean, what kind of lie? Sometimes I'm like, wait, are you sure this heaven? I'm sorry to say this, but I always ask myself this question. This heaven, how many persons will enter it? Because the kind of lies these people tell on daily, especially the ones that say they are Christians, they tell a lot of lies. And it's terrifying. Very terrifying. As a felon, someone with felon, you can't vote. You can't do anything meaningful. I remember some people saying they have just one. But who do they have in government? Somebody with 30-something felonies. And then they will come around. MAGAs will come out to tell me what morals, what is right and what is wrong. You all are living in bondage. On a serious note, your morals should be reviewed. You all need a therapy. You all brain should be checked, because it's only someone that is not normal that will be doing some of the things they do. I am not lying. I'm telling you the reality. So, as it is, FBI will pull up on that young man for doing the most. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. The money you make, I can never get enough. I love it. I would draw the curtain here. Bye for now.